All right. Hey, YouTube, I'm Lucky, and the Destiny 2 servers are being shut down a little early, as per usual, because they have to do maintenance and get ready for the launch of the Witch Queen. Bungie Help tweets out this, saying, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Destiny 2 will undergo maintenance. Now, that is exactly 24 hours from the time I'm making this video right now. So you out there watching, you have 24 hours left to finish up any sort of Witch Queen prep, and I'm going to give you a top 10 list right here of the things I would do if you haven't done any prep at all, or if you've done an absolute ton of prep. This will be the best list I could possibly compile together, so that way you can spend the last 24 hours doing the most efficient and the best things for you and for your character. So, starting from the top, turning in your packages. I would recommend turning in your Crucible packages. You've got Crucible, Vanguard, Trials packages, all these things. You should turn these things in. You should turn in your weapon parts to the gunsmith. And one thing I would keep in mind is that save your weapons, because dismantling your weapons apparently advances your gunsmith rank. So a lot of people are doing this right now. They're getting a ton of garbage weapons and they're throwing them in their vault. And then as soon as the Witch Queen goes live, they're going to dismantle all of those weapons, so that way they get their gunsmith rep at the very start of the Witch Queen launched very early. I would highly recommend doing that. So the first thing is turn in those packages, or turn in those engrams that you've been saving up on the Crucible. For me, it was a ton for Crucible, Vanguard, and Saint 14. I had a ton of those saved up. I also have weapon parts to turn in at Banshee. Go do that. Turn in any engrams you have, legendary engrams, umbral engrams. Claim your triumphs. That's also going to be a really big one. And again, save a bunch of weapons to dismantle. It might seem a bit tedious. You might think like, whoa, do I really want to go into the Witch Queen with a ton of junk in my vault? What I recommend is I masterwork the weapons that I like, and the weapons that I don't like, I leave unmasterworked. So then I just pull the unmasterworked weapons over. I'll dismantle them all in less than 5 minutes, and we'll see if it actually progresses my gunsmith rank rep right off the bat. I'm actually kind of excited for that. That seems to be a new method that's been going around, a lot of people talking about. Another thing to mention is hold on to your Trials Engrams. I'll pull this up right here. I have 10 Trials Engrams on all 3 of my characters, obviously because I play a ton of Trials. I have 10. And the reason why I'm doing this is because there's potential that when the Witch Queen goes live, turning these in will give me the Witch Queen Trials weapons, a chance at them. This has happened historically a ton for Iron Banner. I've made several PSA videos about this, talked about this time and time again in terms of saving the Iron Banner bounties and even Iron Banner engrams. It literally gives you the new season's weapons on day 1. There's a small chance. So this could give you the new summoner, the reprise summoner. It could give you some of the other new weapons that we don't even know yet. So keep that in mind. I would highly recommend to hold on to some Trials engrams. You can't just let them sit in Saint 14, though. You have to pull them from Saint 14 and not turn them in to Master Rahul. Let them sit on your character. I have 30 I'm literally sitting on because I'm a big believer that this is going to work out. We'll see. After I turn in 30, we'll see if I get anything new. You'll also notice on my character right here that I have 2 exotic engrams on each of those. Those are from the Lost Sectors, like I mentioned before. I did the Lost Sector. It drops an exotic. Whatever the armor piece respective to day 1 of the Witch Queen is, if it's a helmet Lost Sector, that's what this will decrypt into, I believe, on the first day. That's the way it's worked historically. We don't know if that's how it's going to work in the future, but that's the idea behind it. So I have 2 exotic engrams on all 3 of my characters here. Next up, bounties. Save tons and tons of bounties. I'm not the best bounty goblin. I don't do the best job saving these, but I got a good amount saved right here, okay? And I'm going to do a bunch more on my last day and within the last 24 hours to save up as much bounties as possible. Spoils, as you can see here, I did have a huge stack of like 240, and they got deleted because I let too much stuff go to my postmaster. I'm still very sad about that. But in my inventory, I do have a full stack of 240 spoils down here, and then up here I do have a decent amount. Just hold on my Warlock, 50 there, and 20 on my Hunter. So I got a little over 300 spoils. This will be awesome when the Witch Queen raid goes live, because when the raid goes live, I'll be able to farm any sort of chest a bunch. So I'm really excited for that. Along with this, of course, we have the thing we previously talked about, which is Paraversal Halls. I have 73 of these right now. I've been saving these quite a bit. This may not be as effective as we thought originally, so it may not help as much because the legendary campaign is actually going to be capped per each level, so you're not going to be able to over-level them and power through the legendary campaign. However, if you're a little bit under level when you start the next mission, the way I would imagine it's going to start is it's going to be like the first mission is 1360, the next one is 1370, 1380, 1390, on and on and on, so forth, right? Until you get all the way up to 1500, whatever it may be. You may be able to level yourself up a little bit faster using these Paraversal Halls, being able to open them, and so that way you don't have to spend more time in the mission getting random blue drops to level you up. So I do think these will still have some value, but I don't think it's going to be as valuable as we thought before. Another one of the top 10 things, I got 2 things left, and the last one is the most important. The second to last one right here is Etheric Spiral is available for the Spider right now. You can turn this in for Glimmer. You can go max out your Glimmer. I would highly recommend going into the Witch Queen with maxed out Glimmer. You don't want to go in being broke, being poor. A lot of people will accidentally, fully masterwork some things, spend their Glimmer, and have very little amount of Glimmer going into the Witch Queen. You want to have max as much as you can. It will help you, trust me. You end up spending a Glimmer on, if you get anything new, you end up masterworking or spending it on fully masterworking armor and stuff like that. So I would recommend going to the Spider right now and getting your Glimmer maxed up. And the very last thing I'm going to mention, and this is something that the Bungie dev, DMG community manager mentioned, which is put all your weapons on your character. Put your best weapons on your character. The weapons you're going to use. These are not my weapons that I'm going to use, but make sure to do that. That is really important. If you haven't watched my video on this already, I did an entire video where I talked about the weapons that I'm going to be putting on my characters leading into the Witch Queen, the weapons that I think will be the most meaningful, the most impactful. So you can go right there. You can type in the search bar, or I'll put the link down below. It says, what weapons should I bring into Witch Queen? So that video will be very helpful. And make sure to put those weapons on before 24 hours from right now on the character that you want to play the Witch Queen regular campaign or the legendary campaign day one. That way you're good to go. You're ready to run through the campaign, run through the ads, and run through all the missions, get leveled up as fast as possible. And the third-party API apps like DIM and stuff like that, they might be down for a few hours. Community manager DMG talked about this, said they could be down for a few hours. So it may be very painful and very difficult to get your weapons from one character to another. You would obviously have to log onto that character, load into the tower, drop them at the vault, and then go back and forth. And in the process, getting error codes and stuff like that, because there's just going to be so many people playing the game at once that the tower is going to give out error codes and stuff like that. You're going to get thrown back into the queue. It's going to be very frustrating. It's much more efficient and much better for you to have on the right weapons right at launch, go into the missions, go into the campaign. It'll do you a lot better than loading into the tower, trust me. So that's a wrap on this entire PSA. If you did find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. I'm going to keep you up to date on all things in Destiny 2, the Witch Queen. I mean, the game plan is for this channel to upload roughly around 100 videos within the first week of the Witch Queen. That's the game plan, 100 videos. The reason why is because there's so much stuff that goes on, new exotics, things that are busted, Bungie responding to things, Bungie nerfing things, things that are really fun and interesting. There's so much that goes on in the game, lore, you name it. I want to cover absolutely everything, PvE, PvP, the Gambit revamp, all of this stuff is going to be covered on this channel. So it's going to be nearly 100 videos. So keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of content on this channel. And I'm going to be uploading to my second and third channel. I have Lucky 10 Premium and I have Lucky 10 Peen. You can subscribe to those channels as well. And then the links to those will be down below. And that's a wrap. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.